Thank you so much. I am really happy to be here with you. It's a great honor for me to be in front of you, to be in front of the full Leeds City Council. If I didn't know what Welcome to Yorkshire means, I think I wouldn't have understood these last 2 days. You are kind people. We come with the Tour de France. Le Tour is the world's greatest cycling event, but it's much more than just a great bike race. You know, we say in France, everything ends with songs. But for us, the Tour de France, everything begins with a letter. And we got a few letters from you. And I have one from the 24th of May 2012. And with my colleagues, when we got this letter, we saw one thing. Not one, but 3 signatures. Your signature, dear Keith, the leader, but also the signatures of the leaders of the other main parties. That's something quite unique. When we got this letter, we realized Leeds really wanted to welcome the Tour. When this morning I had a short walk in the streets of the city, I saw the giant banner, Leeds welcomes the Tour de France, on the town hall. I saw many bicycles painted yellow. Even on the big crane just next to the building, 20 or 30 meters high. I'm really impressed and thrilled by what you've done for us, for the Tour. I want to thank you all for the trust you have in us, for the trust you have in the Tour. I want to thank you for writing that. Bringing the Tour de France to Leeds will provide the catalyst we need to move to the next stage of cycling in the city. I think it's true. I read everywhere in the streets, cycling starts here. You're right. The Tour de France was born in 1903. It is 111 years old, but it's only the second time it has started from the UK. 2007 from London, 2014 in 3 days from Leeds in Yorkshire. It doesn't happen just like that out of the blue. The grassroots of road cycling are here. Brian Robinson, Beryl Burton, Barry Hoban. You have all the venues we need for the Tour. You have an outstanding landscape, and more of that, you have passion. Passion for cycling and love for the Tour. All we imagine will be better tomorrow, the day after, on Saturday, on Sunday. I had dreams of the Grand Départ in Leeds, in Yorkshire. I feel it will be even bigger. You are proud to be from Leeds. You are proud to be from Yorkshire. I believe that in 3 days, in 4 days, in 5 days, in the future, you will be even prouder to be from Leeds. You will be even prouder to be from Yorkshire. And if it's thanks to the Tour de France, I will be really happy. Merci beaucoup.
Councillor Wakefield.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Just prior, before we started this, I said to Christian that there's only 3 people ever stood in this chamber to address the council. One's the Queen, who stood there but didn't address the council. Second one, of course, was Nelson Mandela. And years ago, as Jim McKenna reminded me rightly, it was John Hume. So this is a very special occasion. And on behalf of the council, Christian, you said no pressure then at all, but you did remarkably well. But on behalf of the council, welcome to Leeds. And I'd also like to welcome Beryl Burton's daughter, Denise, who's come along to observe the occasion. I'll say a few words later. And of course, the man who had the vision and the passion for this whole event, Gary Verity from Welcome to Yorkshire. So welcome to Gary as well. As we all know now, Christian Prudhomme is the wisest Frenchman ever to walk in Leeds. There's nobody been as wise or as clever as Christian. And the reason is simple. When that letter went off, at that time, we were competing with other European cities. We were competing with Utrecht, Florence, Edinburgh, and Barcelona. And Christian, because he is a professional, George, had to come over and look at Yorkshire. And I'm delighted that you were able to choose Leeds and Yorkshire out of that competition for the Grand Depart, because what you've done is give us a real opportunity that I think people of the north, and particularly Yorkshire, have been waiting for. Firstly, because it is watched by 3 billion people in 190 countries. We get to showcase how beautiful and stunning Leeds and Yorkshire is, particularly with its history. And I know that when you first saw that, you were bowled over by the history of Yorkshire as well, with its castles and its walls and its villages. And I think when you think that 3 billion people will be watching this, frankly, it's the best marketing opportunity this council and this city has had, and this region, for a very long time. The second thing, and which I think is dear to all our hearts, it's actually demonstrated that not only do we work across parties, we've worked across local authorities, and the public sector have been able to demonstrate they can organise and host world-class global events. And I think this is a good opportunity to thank officers from the chief executive downwards, who kept our streets clean, who've done the extra mile, who've done the police as well, to make this event look what it should be, world class. But I know one thing that was dear to your heart. We could not have won this bid without saying that we were passionate about leaving a legacy for future generations. And I haven't got time to go into the physical side of this in terms of the extra roads or so on. But yesterday, we witnessed a magnificent event at Temple Newson, when 50 schools, 5 special schools, so 50 primary schools, 5 special schools, 550 children took part in a mini Cllr at Temple Newson. And truly to see the passion, the crying, the laughing, the effort, determination, the enjoyment in that day, it was truly magnificent. It was really inspiration to all of us. So again, I'd like to thank the officers for My Ways and Education who were involved in that, because it was a huge success. I think it's something we should reflect on. It was so good, but maybe if we can organise Cllr every year from there, that would be great, Christian. But of course, this is also a special occasion for Beryl Burton's daughter and husband, because we're doing it in September, but I thought it was a great opportunity to pull the 2 events together to say that in September we will be given the greatest female cyclist and athlete in this country, the Freeman of the City. And I hope, Beryl, Denise, that you will be able to come along in September, because we'll talk more about her achievements. But just to say that she won 7 World Cup medals, Gold Cup medals, 25 nationals, held the 12-hour record, which beat men. No woman has actually managed to beat it, and was truly a remarkable athlete and very down-to-earth and modest. I did have the experience of being on a bike in the 90s and some woman coming up to me, and I thought, my God, she's a bit competitive. And she would ask me where I'd been and how many miles. And somebody came over to me, do you realise who that is? And I said, no, I hadn't really, to be honest. It was Beryl Burton. And frankly, she was a down-to-earth, modest, and just a person who had great passion and ability to go. So I have had the privilege of that. I think it's long overdue. We've probably, if we'd have done it years ago, it would have probably not had the profile. Cycling's got a massive profile now, thanks to the Olympic gold medals, thanks to the success we've had in the Tour, and I think it's appropriate that we recognise somebody who's been forgotten for many years, probably, outside of the cycling fraternity, and we do that in September, so I'm looking forward to that. So once again, Christian, thank you for coming along and addressing the council. It really has been a privilege. We will promise you the welcome you've just had now out in the streets on Saturday, and give you a great Yorkshire send-off for the greatest cycle race in the world annually. So thank you again. I move the vote of thanks.